Hi, and welcome to episode 28 of One Game Dad. Today, as probably always, it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag of topics. But hey, I'm the proverbial One Game Dad, Gregory Palici, and it's snowing outside. I'm drinking tea instead of coffee because I've already had a bunch of coffee. Who needs more? Well, I love coffee, but I don't need more. So that's something. What else? What else? What else? Well, I I really need to update my folio, my work folio, my writing, and I have these ideas for projects. Some I've been working on, some others I haven't. And I've been meaning to try and get certain projects off the ground, uh, with the hopes that in doing so, well, I'll, oh, what's the word? I'll be able to get more work. I'll be able to attract some attention. I'll be able to, generally just improve the situation. And well, situation like I'll be able to get work, whether it's for my company, through my company. I'll be able to sell stuff, or I'll be able to be hired on with someone else, either as a consultant or service provider or as an employee. And uh, I say all this because, well, I yeah, like some of my writing is old, or it's not as great as I'd like it to be, or it's not the type of things that I'm interested in doing. Like it's not the areas of focus I want to have career-wise, and so that's why I need to do it. Like I have some ideas for short stories. I mean, sort of social media stuff that I've been wanting to do for a while now. But it's just I've been wanting to use it as a writing prompt every morning to get me going, but with everything else in terms of setting up the company, etc., it's been one of those things that's been delayed, which is a shame. It's something I'd like to do. I really want to get started. Um, to some degree, maybe I'm overthinking what I want to try and do with it, but and rather than just getting on with it. So it's yeah, it's an aspect of, well, the work that I've been thinking a lot of recently. Like I've been some degree I've been focusing on a lot of a lot of certain types of work, or a lot of certain types of aspects of what I'm doing. rather than the actual writing. And that's the nature of setting up a business. You know, I'm always going to have to deal with those things. But it hasn't. I mean, writing as ever is my priority. I just need to truly focus on that priority. And it's something I could do a lot better at. I mean, okay, I have this 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 project, well, this show.
Everything I hoped it would be.
You will want for nothing as long as you stay by my side. As long as you are loyal. As long as you never fail me.
Yes, my lady.
But it's yeah,
You sought to be a slave to an enemy.
The biome is prospering again. There is more grain than there ever has been.
yeah. Sorry, I need a drink of tea.
Murdered by one of you.
Shadia. Shadia! She was the child you drowned.
Yeah, it's just.
Your kind.
I mean, at times I'm wondering what to focus on in terms of my folio. Like, the social media stuff would be small and relatively quick to get out there, something I can share. And it is stuff I want to do. The game I'm working on is great. It's taking longer than I expected, but that's because it's kind of growing in size in terms of the writing. Like, the
I did what had to be.
the the loop is there, the core loop, and it works for the most part. But then there's also cleaning it up and getting it to look good, which is going to take some work, and I want it to be a viable product to stand on its own. So maybe what I need to be doing is focusing on the social media to get me started, and this is a longer term. It's not going to be the
I knew you young, old friend. Perhaps I was always meant to die at your...
yeah. It's I don't know. Yeah, and then I have like I need to return to writing a novel. I have some comic books I need to be writing, some other things. Like I have all these things I want to write that I need to be writing.
Layla, now! I need you! There's a van in the alleyway. Oh, God!
A van? Aya, what are you trying?
Forget about Aya. Abstergo's here. They must have found out about... Oh, shit! Fuck!
Dean?
Yeah. So it's
Shit! They're here too!
Okay, Layla, listen. I know you. And I know you'll find a way out of this.
لكن هذا
موتي أيتها الحمقاء.
yeah, it's sorry. I'm distracted by what this game has suddenly become. Um, yeah, it's just where to concentrate. Like, part of me feels right now I need to get one of these comic book scripts done and start trying to find an illustrator for it so I can move forward with that project. Because in having to get an illustrator, there's going to be aspects of that project that I'm going to have to, yeah, pass off to others. And so that's going to be time that I don't have. Well, that time I can use for other things. So if I get that started, that means I can concentrate on other things, which is probably a smart use of my time.
How's it going?
Bad. Picked up that blade I found.
Oh, crap. Yeah, so, I mean, that's part of the plan for this week is to get start with the whole social media stuff, start with some of the other, start with the comic scripts.
Picked up that blade I found.
Good.
تذكر عليك التخلص من الهدف وما استعدت الانيموس.
How's it going?
Bad.
So, and then at the same time, maybe I can oh, what's the term? I can focus on some of the other things, get the other types of work moving that I want. But, at the same time, as much as I'm trying to concentrate on writing and creating things and not just consuming, I've been quite bored with games in particular. It's just, I don't know, there's a certain ennui to it. There's nothing that is as satisfying as I would like them to be. Which is,
أثرنا الهدف التنوي جاري يخرج من مقبالها على
No, don't. Please. No!
ما القضاء على
D? Oh, D.
which is a shame. Like, even playing this isn't.
Fuck you, Abstergo! I'm saying this through!
It's not doing anything for me. Like, I'm wanting better stories, and that's part of why I want to write, because I'm just.
If you're listening to this, you work for Abstergo, and I'm dead. Do me a favor, and make sure Sophia Ricken hears it. My dream was to work on the Animus Project. I waited 12 years. Waiting got me nowhere. So I built an Animus that lets me access anyone's memories, even ancestors not my own. I even witnessed the origins of the assassins. Artifacts, tombs that were
Yeah,
supposed to
it's
be
just.
legend. I found them. By killing me, you've lost all this knowledge. I understand why you thought I had to die. Did you have to kill my best friend? What did she...
Sorry, hold on.
Habibti, I should have listened to you.
It's I want to play. I mean, in the evenings, at times I find myself too tired to, but I just like the games aren't doing it for me. Like Destiny 2 holds no interest for me because it's just become a grind. Like the loop is good, but the grind is just it's off-putting. And I consider going back to things like Halo 5 or Titanfall 2 not for their campaigns. I mean, maybe the Titanfall 2 campaign would be fun to run through again. But I remember these things too well, which is always a problem with me in media, like repeating things. But then it's like games that are relatively quick to pick up and put down, so I can get a gaming quickly. But sadly, there is the, I'm I well what am I trying to say? I like the ability to pick up and put down this game is great. Like this is a one downside to Moon Hunters is that the loading times are so long for such a small game that it's off-putting. Like I can't easily pick it up. Whereas Assassin's Creed, for its size, loads relatively quickly. Halo 5 and Titanfall 2 are the same way, and even getting into games in those is pretty quick, especially quicker than things like Call of Duty, which is surprising given the numbers for those games. So, yeah. It's just something I've been thinking about, something that's just an element of what I'm playing. I mean, I'm looking forward to Far Cry 5 in part because maybe that'll give me something different. Hopefully that loads quickly. I want to play with the map editor there. I want to see what's possible with that. Well, I want to see what I can build in that, use that as part of my portfolio. But again, these are all things I want to do, and I'm trying to remain interested because this is a field I want to work in. But it sucks when I'm not in a position to do it. And I don't want to just be writing the writing game, which is fun and its creation is relatively quick, but I don't solely want to think about things from an academic level. I want to be making things, and that's part of the problem with the writing game. Is like, okay, well, I can sit there and analyze. It's not good enough for me on a personal level, on a business level, to solely analyze. I need to show that I can take that analysis and convert it into something. So I've been thinking about, okay, how do I make these small things, these small games, these small writing examples that show what I'm talking about so that I can, put them into a future book Because that's part of the idea of what the writing game is. That at some point it could be a book on writing video games, something to sell. It's not just a video series. It's it's something that's thought out. So yeah, it's
Have you heard the story of
something. I mean, this is always stuff.
mercenary who single-handedly defeated the despised Gabiniani in epic battle on the high seas?
It's something I always consider.
Gather around, and I will amaze you with the legend of Foxidas and the goddess of Siwa.
But it is weird how such ennui hits me at times in games. Like sometimes small games are able to carry me through and keep me.
Which battle are you talking about?
You have not had. Oh, my friend, then you are in for
And they keep me going. They keep me just playing short times, and that's why I've been thinking of going back to things like Halo 5 and Titanfall 2, because those multiplayer matches are quick, they're delightful, and they also give me time to think about other things. But at the same time, I always feel like I should be playing games that have story. Like I have Oxenfree, and that's supposed to be really well written, and I should be playing that to see what they've done. And there's others out there that I should be playing. But I'm just not. I mean, part of it's the time I have in the evening, part of it's the times I
with only their sturdy trireme and loyal crew against the Gabiniani's fabled warships. Floating mountains carrying 10,000 men bristling with all.
yeah,
Where are these mongrel Gabiniani? My informant assured me they would pass here. I'll throttle his scrawny neck if he told me wrong.
Who are the Gabiniani? Where do they come from?
Exiles of Rome who took Egypt as their home. Trained everyone with the discipline of Rome and the ruthlessness of Ptolemy. Worthy opponents for the likes of us.
Well, we have to stop them before they can join Ptolemy's fleet.
We'll find fire and send them
so these are just
salt-soaked hull rats.
considerations I've had of late. I mean, like the kid's healthy.
Is that their whole fleet?
Poseidon's peace, no, woman. That's only part of their full strength. The lesser part by the looks. Triremes only. There's no sign of their damned octary. This works in our favor. We can work them down, ship by ship.
Strike oars and ready your bows! We attack!
Give no quarter, men! These devils will give us none!
We have a monster in? How will we face it?
Show no fear, Damascus! They've not met our kind before. Their bloated barge won't save them.
Up tempo!
We're
Up the
under
pace,
fire!
brothers!
Speed up! We ram them!
Need more speed! Speed up! More speed! Let's go! Galley speed! Pick up the
Speed up!
pace!
We ram them!
Up the tempo!
Galley speed!
That's two down!
Yeah, sorry. Now I'm distracted by ship-to-ship combat, which is
Speed up! We ram them!
Speed up! Up the pace, brothers! Up
Brace
tempo!
for impact! We ram them!
Pick up the pace!
Speed up!
Up the tempo!
We ram them! There's one more yet for Poseidon's collection! Speed up!
Galley
We
speed!
ram them!
Easy pace!
Speed up! We ram them!
sorry. I really should just bring this to an end.
Need
Yeah. Alright, with that, I'm going to call it an end to this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm One Game Dad, Gregory Placi. You can find everything I do at onegamedad.com, on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon at One Game Dad. Thanks for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe or rate and review wherever you find the show. And be sure to check out my other show on YouTube and iTunes, The Writing Game, which is specifically about designing stories for video games. Until next time.